Hi everyone, it's Christina evolving. I know it's been a while since I've been on my channel. It's been, I think, at least 2 months, if not more. I did take a short break. I'm back to give you an update on what I've been doing this entire time. So I have a lot of footage I did take. I did stop filming for a little bit, but before I stopped filming, I have quite a bit of footage I did record. I did do 90 Strong for a while, but I took a break for a couple different reasons. The main one being that I was having some serious health issues. Even though I was doing 90 Strong, I ended up having my menstrual cycle for over 5 months. I didn't really talk about it previously. I thought it was something that would just eventually pass. So my doctors and gynecologists, 𝒬𝒑 were trying to figure out what's the root cause. That itself was a disappointing process because they jumped to other things, like having a hysterectomy and so forth, without really figuring out what was causing it. Now, I know everybody out there on semaglutide or tirzepatide have their own opinions, and very strong opinions at that. So I have my opinion, and despite whatever comments I'm going to get, I am going to say that I strongly believe that the reason for my lengthy period, and it went really strong for those 5 months. I mean, it was heavy, so it was really rough, that my doctor was concerned and he sent me to see a hematologist. And even though I had taken I did all the lab work that my doctor asked me to do, he did retire at the end of October. But his biggest thing was he wanted me to see this specialist, which I did go see with the Virginia Cancer Society. So I did 16 vials of blood. I gave 16 vials of blood there, and basically it came back to say that I am prone to blood clots. My blood clots are not genetic. I don't have that, what is it called, MTFR4 or something factor. I don't know exactly what the correct term is, so I apologize. But regardless, they did find in the lab work that I am more prone to blood clots when I am subjected to certain stressors. But that was besides the point. That was just an additional lab work they wanted me to do, since I was there and I have a history of chronic blood clots. So they were just trying to figure out that piece of a separate puzzle. I did give them a history that when I was with the University of Virginia Medical Center, they did perform those tests, and they said they did tell me it was not genetic. It was a one-time event that just now makes me more prone to blood clots. I was flying for work, so I flew from Hawaii to the mainland, Dulles, here and back to Hawaii within like 2 days. So because the government was trying to save money on lodging and so forth, so I did what they wanted, but unfortunately I did suffer a blood clot from it. Regardless, so they wanted to redo that test, which is fine. It just solidified that the first prognosis from the previous vascular surgeons at UVA were correct. Anyway, so back to the rest of the 16 vials that I gave. The rest of that was trying to figure out my ferritin levels, my iron, and so forth. So basically it showed the same result that my internist found when he also ordered my blood work. except for it just grew more concerning by that time, by the time I gave that blood work, to the point where I was actually at the OBGYN and they called me there because I tried to get one of my appointments rescheduled with the hematologist, and they said, no, we need you to come in right now. You need a iron transfusion immediately. So I did go in, I got that iron transfusion. I lose a lot of hair, and I know a lot of folks on semaglutide and tirzepatide do lose hair being on these peptides, but also having extreme low iron also contributes to hair loss. So I have clumps of hair that come out. I was really exhausted, so doing the 90 strong, I hope is it 90 strong? I blocked the whole thing from my brain, so forgive me if I had the wrong name, but I try to keep up with 90 strong as much as I could, but I just realized, I think by the second or third month of ongoing daily menstruation, that something was seriously not right, and I needed to figure it out and hopefully get it fixed. So I started taking a supplement called chaseberry or vitex-berry, depending on what name someone was referred to it by, and that has been the biggest factor that has helped me. I do strongly believe that the dual GLP-1 GIP is what has contributed and directly caused me to have an irregular cycle. No, I don't think it's perimenopause. Talk to the doctors. My physician and the gynecologist do not believe. Of course, the gynecologist doesn't believe a lot of things, so that's kind of a question mark there. But I do believe, through talking to multiple women who ended up having irregular cycles, either their cycle started when it had not been there because they were on birth control and haven't had a cycle for years, to those who suddenly started having like missed periods out of the blue, to those who also were suddenly impregnated. And aside from that, I did some other research looking at medical studies where the doctors or clinicians were recommending that those who were on birth control needed to double up on their birth control so that the chance of getting pregnant wouldn't be so high, because although there were females who were on birth control like every day, faithfully, not missing a single dosage, they were unexpectedly getting pregnant. And I do believe that has something to do with the hormones. ... I know there are folks out there who will say, well, losing weight or a large amount of weight is going to cause the body to react that way. I grossly disagree with that, because this is not the first time I have lost a significant amount of weight. I lost a significant amount of weight pre and during COVID. It wasn't until I went back to work that I gained 70 pounds. So, and when I did lose weight, I was doing low carb and I was exercising hard every day. My menstrual cycle was absolutely fine. I had no hormonal issues whatsoever. I've been in the Army, I've trained, The only time in my life did I have hormonal issues was, I think I was 23 years old. I was either 23, between 21 and 23 years old. I went on birth control and I started having daily periods. So they took me off the pill and they put me on 𝒸𝒾, and same reaction. And actually, my period wouldn't stop after, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 months. So they had to put me on estrogen to taper off my period. And they had to like be careful with that estrogen because, you know, of the blood clotting issues that are also tied to that. And also my blood clots I got now have nothing to do with that because, wait a minute, is it estrogen? Excuse me, birth control. I was on birth control for like a month or two, and the 𝒸𝒃, and then the birth control pill, I was on that for like 2-3 months. So altogether, I would say not more than 6-7 months, not even a year at all. So, and ever since then, I have not gone back on using birth control. So that was my early years, and it was a very limited time. So they do not believe it's any way related to my blood clots. Anyways, what I erroneously said a few minutes ago is that estrogen causes blood clots. It's not. It's the birth control part. They wanted to limit how long I was on estrogen because the physician, the military doctor, says it directly increases your chances of being prone to cancer. So that's that. Anyways, I don't want to make this longer than it is. I think I am like 13 minutes in. I just wanted to give everybody a heads up. Weight loss is important to me. That was one of the reasons why I've been like not on the channel. That is the main reason. The other reason is I've been a little down because one of my colleagues / really good friends is dying from cancer. So he had liver cancer and it has spread to, he had fatty liver disease. I think he had cirrhosis from it. He doesn't drink. He's been on Ozempic and Mounjaro for, I think he said at least 10 years. So altogether, both medications. So he used to be on Ozempic first and then transitioned to Mounjaro. Now, I know there's studies about the findings of certain type of cancer in rats. So I don't want to go into that too much, but I'm just a type of person that's kind of like prone to anxiety and stresses. So one, I was really sad about what was happening to him. Incredibly sad. Because he's a good person. So it's very undeserved. I know some very evil people who live to be 100, 90s, 100, over 100. It's like ridiculous. This person is a good person. He's never been married, hasn't been able to really find a girlfriend because he is obese. He's extremely morbidly obese. So he's been trying to fix his health. He did lose a lot of weight. He actually looks pretty good now. So, but girls just weren't attracted to him because they couldn't get past that. But he's such a good person, very caring, would have taken care of any significant other that was with him. In any case, he just felt very strongly that maybe this kind of contributed to, the medication contributed to him getting this cancer because he has no family history of cancer being passed down. or the genes that are more prone to it. So I don't agree with his philosophy, just based on the studies that have been made available to us. It hasn't shown that, but I'm going to keep a good eye out because I love to read clinical studies. When I got my blood clot, it was my eyes opened on a lot of stuff the medical world does. So I had a gallbladder that was removed. Learned later that I didn't need to remove it. I could have fixed it through proper diet, proper supplements, bile salts to help, enzymes to break down food. Didn't know any of that. So the removal of my gallbladder has caused a plethora of issues that I've had to deal with and continue to deal with. So I do have my own beliefs on that. His thinking is, I don't believe that the GLPs contributed to his cancer, especially because there's a lot of studies out there that it's supposed to help improve your susceptibility to certain cancers like breast cancer. So it's a difficult topic to talk about. I don't really like talking about it. It gives me a lot of anxiety. I just get anxious talking about it. My mother passed away from leukemia. My father passed away from cancer. So my oldest brother had cancer. So it's a very, very touchy subject. Just saying the word makes me feel some kind of way. So anyway, so that's the other reason I've been kind of missing. I went to a lot of medical appointments. I still need to go to a lot of medical appointments, so that has taken a lot of time from me, from my personal time. Doesn't feel like my personal time anymore, so I am just constantly running around. I work full time, but I'm doing the best I can. I do hope to be back on here because I do want to keep journaling or vlogging or just keeping track of my journey, because it is important to me. I want to succeed in this. I think I've been doing pretty well. I probably could have been doing a lot better. My diet hasn't always been the best, but I've been trying. I have been eating a high protein, somewhat low fat diet. And many of you are going to say, why low fats? You should be doing that. You should be eating high fat. Low fat is not good for you, blah, blah, blah. I have no gallbladder. That's the reason why I have to eat low fat. There's no ifs, what's about it. It's just, if I eat a high fat, I become extremely ill. And that causes other issues. I can actually be in a hospital for several days because I get violently ill over certain things I eat. So things that are either too acidic or high fat. So I have to balance everything, and the only balance I have right now is high amount of protein and low fat. So, and 0 to 20 grams of carbs. So I do the best I can. I'm not going to follow someone's specific diet program or journey because we're not built the same. We don't have the same issues. I don't expect anyone to follow my journey to the T I just hope like I have information that's helpful to someone else, because I did try to figure out what was going on with the whole menstrual cycle thing, until I started actually talking to others and finding out that they were having hormonal issues. Once they want, not everybody, but a select group, a high enough group that there's a trend of women, not men, but women, who have been having shifts in their hormones ever since they started GLP-1. And it wasn't immediately. It looks like it actually took a few months before other females were having these hormonal issues. So I'm putting this out there in case it does help someone. And I'm not saying this is exactly what it is. I hope whoever's listening to this video respects my beliefs. You can disagree all you want, and that's fine. But I ask that you don't come in my comments and berate me. I've had some interesting comments in the past on some of my videos. And I'm just really, this year, I want to stay away from negativity on my videos and on my comments area. So if there are negative comments, I'm just gonna delete them. I'm not gonna leave them there, because no one has time for that. So I definitely don't. I'm not mean to other people. I don't go out there and just be Miss Know-It-All and say, hey, this is what you have. I know. Whatever you think you have, you're so grossly wrong. You're so stupid. You know, I'm the expert. I know everything. This is what it is. So anyways, folks, I just wanted to give you an update on what was going on. Not to end this on a negative note, because I don't want to. I just want to say I'm sorry I missed Thanksgiving with you all. I missed Christmas with you all. So I just want to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. 2026 is going to be spectacular. Despite these things, 2025 was actually really good. I had a good 2025. If I look back and the amount of negative stuff compared to all the positive stuff that happened for me in 2025 was a better year. I am so happy in so many ways. Happy for my family, happy with myself. So I am looking forward to 2026, continue to improve, being on this journey, hopefully maybe meeting some of you eventually. I will probably get back to like working out. I will start posting more videos. I will not be posting every week or daily like I tried to do with the 90 hard. I really try to do that, and that also got very overwhelming for me. So because I'm the one that's editing it, doing the thumbnails and all that, so I don't have anyone doing that for me. I don't have the money to hire someone to do that, so I just do it all myself. But I am doing several other things too. I'm starting to garden, so I'm starting my seedlings indoors at the moment. So my time is pretty packed. Also with working full-time, I work for the federal government, so that takes a lot out of my time, because sometimes I have to work much longer. During the government shutdown, I was at work every day. I was not paid for almost 2 months, and that also created other stresses. I forgot to mention that created other stresses in my life, because I was not at home. I was having to fill in when other civilians were at home. So I don't know, how is it that like some civilians get to stay home and still get paid, and then the rest of us are required to be at work, and then we go 2 months without getting paid. So I was actually borrowing against my savings to pay my mortgage, and if it had gone past 2 months, it would have been, that was a little scary to think about because, you know, the area I live in is very expensive. So you got utilities, food, mortgage, car insurance, and, you know, all the stuff. My daughter also, she works for TSA at the airport, and she worked every single day. Even some folks called out and she worked. Okay. So I'm going to try my best to post videos every 2 weeks just to make it more manageable. And we'll just go from there. Hopefully I'll have some really good updates for everyone. Hopefully they're worthwhile and have something to contribute to many of you who are on this journey. That's all we can do. That's all we can offer. So, you know, I really appreciate the time that you're watching me and listening. And if you're still here by the end of this video, feel free to like and subscribe if you want. If not, I appreciate the fact that you were here watching this video. And until next time, have a good one. Bye.